Hello class, welcome to Healthcare Policy and Economics. My name is Diane Lebanowski and I will be your instructor for this class. If you go to your home page and go to the news items, that is where you're going to find information about this class, about me, and announcements that I will post throughout the class. So please be aware that many times I do send an email with my announcement, but in the beginning of this class, the information regarding this class is listed here and not in an email. The first thing is, I'd like to introduce myself. Like I said, my name is Diane Lebanowski. I will let you go ahead and read this information, but what's important to know is how to get a hold of me. You may reach me through email at diane.lebanowski@aspen.edu. If you email me, I will try to answer within 24 hours, and over the weekend, I will answer within 48. Please know that I have another full-time online teaching job at another university, so sometimes I get a little behind. It may not be quite within 24 hours, but I do try my best to check every 24 hours. If you do feel you would like to speak with me, I will send you my cell phone number and you can give me a call. I'm definitely interested in your success and do want to keep communication open during this time. So if emailing me is not enough, let me know and we can talk. A little bit about my background is I have an extensive background in nursing education. I have taught in a associate degree program and a university setting. I'm master's certified to teach online, and I presently teach, as I said, online for Aspen and another university. I love teaching nursing students. It's been my passion throughout my life. am here to make you successful and to continue on in your education. The next thing I want to talk about is the course policies for this class. Just to clarify with you, I do have a late policy and a plagiarism policy, which basically follows the Aspen policies, but I do define it. I know all of you are busy people. You're working, you have families and everything else that goes on in life. So at times things get a little busy. If you do think you're not going to reach a deadline, please email me and let me know. I will allow late papers within the week. It would have to be turned in before the next week comes up, but I will allow that as long as you send me an email. If you do not email me, then you will probably get a 10% grade reduction because I have not heard from you. Please do not take advantage of this policy. It is used for emergencies. If you're habitually late, we'll take that into consideration as far as the 10% grade reduction. Again, it's used for those times when things just get crazy and you need to have a little bit more time to get that paper work in. I do like discussion posts to be put in a timely manner so that everyone has an opportunity to read your post and respond to your post. As far as plagiarism goes, we do use Turnitin at Aspen. If you are turning in a paper with over a 30% Turnitin score, I will most likely send that back to you and say, please rephrase, please look at this paper. What can you do to lower that score? Anything between 25 and 30, I will run it through the filters. Sometimes the bibliography does raise the score, but I will check on that. You can check on your Turnitin score before you submit, and you can turn a paper in up to 3 times. So my suggestion is to check it before you even submit it, and then when you do submit it, put final version or check this one or whatever. So please be aware of this policy and how to check your Turnitin score. I will be posting this video in here, so hopefully you will see that. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about in this class is your assignments, and I will basically just go through one module as that is pretty much an overview of everything that happens in this class. First of all, overview of healthcare policy and economics is listed here. Go through that. Be aware of your text that you need to use for this class. table of contents gives us everything that you need to know for this class. Here is a getting started guide, which is unique to Aspen. You may have already gone through it. If not, please do. Below the syllabus is some really good help for writing APA and using APA format. And also now you do have the Writing Center, which is another great resource to go if you're having questions about APA format. This is the syllabus for this class. Again, I'm not going to go through it. You can read that on your own. At the end of this class, you should be able to accomplish these course objectives. And this basically talks about the knowledge and skill and discussion forums. I will talk about the discussion forums in a minute. And here is your grading format, how you get a hold of me, academic honesty, those types of things. If you are having problems with your computer, please contact the IT department. So that is basically your syllabus. Now we're going to go back to the table of contents and we will go through Module 1. You're going to find in this class you have an assignment and 2 discussion questions. So in Module 1, you can scroll down and this talks about your assignment and what you're expected to do. The next thing you are going to be doing is answering 2 discussion questions that have to be turned in by Thursday Pacific Standard Time on the 3rd day of the module. And an example of this, the post is, I don't want to bring this down because this is from a different class, but I will talk to you about it based on the discussion rubric and what I expect. So your post should be basically around 400 words, your initial post. In this class, I do expect you to include a reference with a citation to that reference within the post, and it should answer the question that is that you are asked to do. It's always nice to sometimes add personal insight. If you have any experience with it, that's great. I also like to see you ask a question at the end of your post. Research shows that by asking a question, you increase critical thinking among your classmates. It gives someone something to answer. And so I do encourage that. So discussion posts need a citation with a reference. I do like a question at the end and should be around 400 words. Posted by Thursday. Then you need to answer 2 other posts from your classmates. I do expect you to be using Netiquette. Basically, Netiquette is acting civil online, and one of the biggest things with Netiquette is to address whoever you are replying to by their name. So, hello, Diane. That was a great post, and then add your insight to their comments. Not just thank you, that was a great post, but add some discussion to their post. So your rubric talks about critical thinking, content, logic, stylistics, and if you contribute to learning. So please take a minute to review that and consider what I require for these 2 discussion questions. So you have the 2 discussion questions, and then the next thing I need to get out of this and go back, so bear with me while I go to your assignment. And this is going to just take me to the discussion, to the next area. So 2 discussion questions. It's not quite what I wanted to get to. So again, I'm going to go back to here. And we will go, here's your second discussion question, and then to your assignment. So your assignment basically is listed here. Usually it's asking you to reflect on a subject matter. It might ask you to talk about 4 different subject matters. What you need to know about it, you should have at least 1,500 words. I am able to check your word count, so please be aware that you need to have at least a minimum of that. You don't need to have more than that, but you do need to have a minimum of that. Here are the requirements. This is the amount of words. You need a title page and reference. You need 2 scholarly references. It's nice if you have 2 scholarly references besides your textbook, but I will include your textbook as one. And you save it as a Microsoft Word, and then you put it in the Dropbox. And this is basically what you'd be doing for the first week, is reflecting on the Affordable Care Act and answering these questions. And then please remember that at the end of, in Module 8, you will be adding a reflection portfolio. So reflecting means that you'll submit a 1,000-word paper on what you learned in this class, and then you will include a example of one of your papers that you've received back and made changes to it so that you could eventually put it in a portfolio. So every week I will grade your paper. I will use Turnitin, and I will put comments on your paper, and please make sure that you're reading the feedback and making changes for the following week. Some of the comments that you might see is, I do like introductory paragraphs. I think that's a great way to start a paper. I do like APA headings. So you have a main heading and a second heading. If you want to go beyond it, that's fine, but 2 is a nice number. You would have citations and appropriate references throughout the paper, and you would discuss the topic. So basically, this is an overview of this class. If you do have any questions, please let me know, and I will be happy to answer them. Please take time to introduce yourself, and I look forward to meeting you online.